dear Elise, after having given me such assurances of your love, why are you sad? I see you sigh in the midst of my joy. Can you regret having made me happy? And do you repent of the engagement which my love has forced from you?
No, Moliere. I do not regret what I do for you. I fear carried on by too delightful a power, and I do not even wish that things should be otherwise than they are. Yet, to tell you the truth, I'm very anxious about the consequences of all this, and I greatly fear that I love you more than I should.
What can you possibly fear from the affection you have shown me?
Everything. The anger of my father, the reproaches of my family, the censure of the world, and above all, Valère, a change in your heart. I fear the cruel coldness with which your sex so often repays the too warm proofs of an innocent love.
Alas, do not wrong me thus. Do not judge of me by others. Think me capable of everything, Elise, except of falling short of what I owe to you. I love you too much for that. My love will be as lasting as my life.
Valère, all men say the same thing. All men are alike in their words. Only their actions show the differences between them.
Why not wait for actions if by them alone you can judge of the truthfulness of your heart? My heart, do not suffer your anxious fears to mislead you into wrong meed. Do not let an unjust suspicion destroy the happiness which is to me dearer than life. But give me time to show you by 1,000 proofs the sincerity of my affection.
Alas, how easily do we allow ourselves to be persuaded by those we love. I believe you, Valère. I feel sure your heart is utterly incapable of deceiving me, that your love is sincere, and that you'll ever remain faithful to me. I have no wish to doubt you. I only fear the possible censures of the world.
Why even this fear?
Valère, if everybody knew you as I do, I should have not much to fear. I find in you enough to justify all I do for you. My heart knows all your merit and feels moreover bound to you by deep gratitude. How can I ever forget that horrible moment when we met for the first time? Your generous courage in risking your own life to save mine from the fury of the waves. Your tender care afterwards, your constant attentions and your ardent love, which neither time nor difficulties can lessen. For me, you neglect your parents and your country. You give up your own position in life to be a servant of my father. How can I resist the influence this has over me? Is it not enough to justify my eyes, my engagement to you? Yet, who knows if it justifies in the eyes of others, and how can I feel sure my motives will be understood?
Try in vain to find merit in what I have done. It is by my love alone that I trust to deserve you. As for the scruples you feel, your father himself justifies you, but too much before the eyes of the world. And his avarice and the parsimonious way in which he lives with his children might authorize stranger things still. Forgive me, my dear Elise, for speaking less of your father before you. But you know that unfortunately on this subject no good can be said of him. However, if I can find my parents, as I fully hope I shall, they shall soon be favorable to us. I am expecting news of them with great impatience, but if none comes, I will go in search of them myself.
Oh no, Valère, don't leave me. Try rather to ingratiate yourself in my father's favor.
You know how I wish it, and you can see how I set about it. You know the fawning demeanor I've had to use in order to introduce myself into his service. Under what a mask of sympathy and conformity of taste I disguise my own feelings to please him, and what a part I play to acquire his affection. I succeed wonderfully well, and I feel that to obtain favor with men, there are no better means than to pretend to be of their way of thinking, to fall in with their maxims, to praise all their defects, and to applaud all their doings. One need not fear to overdo it, for however gross the flattery, the most cunning are easily duped. And there is nothing so impertinent or ridiculous which they will not believe, provided it be well seasoned with praise. Honesty suffers, I acknowledge, but when we have need of men, we must adapt ourselves to their mode of thought. And if we have no other hope of success but through such stratagem, it is, after all, not the fault of those who flatter, but the fault of those who wish to be flattered.
Why not try to gain my brother's goodwill, in case the servant tries to betray our secret?
I'm afraid I cannot humor them both. The temper of the father is so different from that of the son that it would be difficult to be the confidant of both at the same time. Rather, try your brother yourself. Make use of the love that exists between you to enlist him in our cause. I leave you, for I see him coming. Speak to him, sound him, but tell him only so much as you think fit.
I greatly fear I shall never have the courage to speak to him of my secret.
I'm very glad to find you alone, sister. I want to speak with you and to tell you a secret.
I'm quite ready to hear you, brother. What is it you have to tell me?
Many things, sister. Summed up in one word. Love.
Love?
Yes, I love. But before I say more, let me tell you that I know I depend on my Father, and that the name of Son subjects me to his will. That it would be wrong to engage ourselves without the consent of the authors of our being, that heaven hath made them the master of our affections, and that it is our duty not to dispose of ourselves but in accordance to their wish. That their judgment is not biased by them being in love themselves, and that they are therefore much more likely to not be deceived by appearances and to judge better what is good for us. That we ought to trust their experience rather than the passion which blinds us, and that the rashness of youth often carries us to the very brink of dangerous abysses. I know all this, my sister, and I say it to you to spare you the trouble of saying it to me. For my love won't let me listen to anything, and I pray you spare me your remonstrances.
Have you engaged yourself, brother, to her you love?
No, but I'm determined to do so. And I beseech you once more to bring forth any reason to dissuade me from it.
Am I such a stranger to you?
No, sister, but you do not love. You do not know the sweet power love has upon our hearts, and I dread your wisdom.
Let us not speak of my wisdom. There are very few people in this world who would neglect wisdom, even once in their life, and if I opened my heart to you, you would think me less wise than you are yourself.
Oh, would to have in your heart like
But
mine!
let us speak of you first, and tell me whom it is you love.
A young girl who has lately come to live in our neighborhood, and who seems made to inspire love in all those who behold her. Nature, my sister, has made nothing more lovely. I feel like a different man the moment I saw her. Her name is Marianne, and she lives with a good, kind mother, whom is almost always ill, and whom the girl shows the greatest affection. She waits on her, pities and comforts her with a tenderness that would touch you to the very soul. Everything she undertakes is done in the most charming way, and all her actions shine a wonderful grace, a most winning gentleness, an adorable modesty. Sister, I wish you had but seen her.
I see many things in what you tell me, dear brother, and it is sufficient for me to know that you love her, for me to understand what she is.
I've discovered lately, without their knowing it, that they are not very good circumstances. And although they live with the greatest care, they have barely enough to cover their expenses. Can you imagine, my sister, what happiness it would be to improve the condition of those we love, skillfully to bring about some relief to the modest wants of a virtuous family? And to think myself deprived of this great joy through the avarice of a father, and to find it impossible to show any proof of my love to her who is all in all to me.
I understand what sorrow this must be for you.
It is greater, my sister, than you can imagine. For is there anything more cruel than this mean economy to which we are subjected? This strange penury in which we are made to languish? What good will it do us to have a fortune if it only comes to us when we are not able to enjoy it? If now to provide for my daily maintenance, I go into debt on every side, if both you and I are reduced daily to beg the help of tradespeoples in order to have decent clothes to wear. In short, I came to speak with you to help me to sound my father concerning my present feelings, and if I find him opposed to them, I'm determined to go live elsewhere with this most charming girl and make the best of what Providence has to offer us. I've been trying everywhere to raise money for this purpose, and if your circumstances are like mine, and our father opposes us, then let us both leave him and free ourselves from the tyranny in which his hateful avarice has for so long held us.
It is but too true that every day our father gives us more and more reason to regret the death of our mother.
Here's boys. Let's go a little further and finish our talk. Afterwards, we'll make a common attack on his hard and unkind.